What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, co-host Justin Vaseur, and our special lender guest, William Wynn. And today we're going to be talking about, is it better to buy a home when home prices drop or when rates drop? Because right now, people are buying a lot of homes and we have home prices that dropped, but the rates are high. What is better, Mr. Lender?
When the house prices are low.
Okay.
Because you cannot change the house price. But the loan, even though it's a 30-year loan, you can always refinance that. And that payment, you will always save money every time you refinance. So, but you can't change the price you bought it at.
Okay. So you're saying because today the rate is 7% and prices are cheaper than 2021, you're saying that it's
if you could afford it, buy it.
Yeah, right. Just stick it through for the next 2 years
or a year. You never know.
Right. So he's saying that everybody sacrifice this next year with these high monthly payments and buy your home with the prices low, right? Yep. But then there's people like Justin who's trying to buy a home right now, and to him it's unaffordable because the monthly payments are high, right?
Kind of. It's not unaffordable. It's just more of, I'm not getting the house that I want.
I see that.
If that makes sense.
But
this is everybody right now. Everyone's crying because they can't get the house they
dream
want.
house. Because
it's not even a dream house.
Or like the house you want.
It's more so like the 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of situation where.
But do you need the 3-bedroom, 2 baths right now?
This is always going to be the case.
Yeah.
You can always find it in a different area. The value of your area is always going to go up that you've been looking at for the last 5-10 years. But if you go over to the east side or the north side, you can afford that home that you want. It's just not going to be in the area that you wanted.
Right.
And the same thing happens in LA. I always wanted a house in Arcadia, but I can't afford that. So I got to move to West Covina. And now that West Covina is expensive, I got to move to Fontana. Now that Fontana's going up, I got to move to Riverside. You kind of get the picture?
Yeah.
It's like that's constant over your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think once people can digest that, then they will understand like, okay, the other thing is people start to realize, okay, if we move to an area further away from what we thought and it's cheaper now, well, eventually that's going to get packed too and the prices will go up. So now they're like, okay, sure, let's buy it while it's low here,
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to get in the house now when it's low, and then you want to get a better house. Then you can sell this house for at least some kind of equity to put down for your bigger house. Just kind of keep the payments the same.
So there's options, right? So when you buy a home in a location that you don't like, but eventually it goes up and you sell it, you have X amount of money from selling the home. And now if you combine it with hopefully a better job by that time because you've grown as a person, you have more pay or whatever it is that there is, you combine those two, now you can move to the area that you wanted and buy that home, even though it costs more.
Like logically, it all makes sense. Like I understand all that. I think it's just seeing the numbers double from 2019 that messes with my head. You know what I mean? It's not like everything that you guys are saying, like the price is going up in the area that you wanted. That all makes sense to me. It just doesn't make sense that the 3-bedroom, 2-bath has just doubled in the last 3 years.
So like in 2021, the home prices skyrocketed to an imaginable number that no one ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
Right? The most in just ever.
Yep.
And in 2022, prices all dropped. Right? And no one bought. No one bought anything in 2022, right? And prices dropped. Now the prices have gone up since 2022.
Yeah.
Not 2021 levels, but it has gone up.
It's starting to.
And people are buying. So 2022 is when we had the home prices at the lowest and rates at the lowest. Now we're at home prices went up and rates are skyrocketing. But people are buying the most right now. And it's weird.
So
it's weird, yeah.
It just sucks
to
wait.
Tell you something?
I think what people are thinking these first time home buyers is mainly the people that are moving. or it's people buying vacation homes, they're like, okay, I've waited for a year and it hasn't stopped. So
Not
I'm just
missing
going to
out.
buy now before it gets
Yeah.
worse. That's
FOMO.
what it is.
Well, we're FOMO basically, and what we've been preaching for the past year, right? It's like by now, price is going to go up, and no, it's going to be a crash. Now they see, okay, it's not going to be a crash. I might as well just get in now when the prices aren't too high or too crazy.
I have a client that was trying to move out here to Vegas, and while we were looking through all these new builds and homes, he was kicking himself in the ass. Every house he went to, my God, I should have bought this 10 years ago when I was touring these homes. Even he was like, I came here 3 years ago to try and make a decision again. And this same build that I'm looking at from 3 years ago, the prices jumped up by 2 times. He's like, I can't believe I waited. I'm just going to buy it now. And then, did he buy it? No, he did not buy. And because the reason is he doesn't work remote, to where if he moved out of state, he doesn't get a primary rate. He gets a second home rate. And so he's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a house with a second home rate. Well, at the time he was doing this, which was beginning of this year, the rate was like 5%, 6% for his rate. Now for a primary, it's at almost 8%.
Yeah, 8,
Damn.
You know, like people have FOMO, but they're still not pulling triggers.
Yeah.
But it's like, now how do you feel, dude?
not
Like,
listening.
I've been really pushing you for this. Now you're in an even worse spot.
Mm.
They just need to know more than the people that do it every day.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just hard, man. Like, I really sympathize for everyone who's trying to buy a home right now. Even for myself, I want to sell this home and make some money and buy a different home. And I was hoping that when I sell this and buy a second home, that it would have been for a good price. But now I'm like, oh shit, I gotta spend more than what I thought.
Mm.
It's horrible, man. I'm right there with you, Justin.
It kind of reminds me of when people were buying Bitcoin at 60,000.
Yes.
It's like a lot of FOMO. They're like, dude, you should get in now because it's gonna go to 100K.
Right. So when it dropped to 50 and 40s, people were like buying like crazy.
Yeah.
And at 30s, people started like taking out loans to buy Bitcoin. And now we've been in the 20Ks for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's different though. Crypto and real estate different. I'm just saying.
It is, but the feelings.
The feelings.
is the same.
So that's why it's what I used to talk about to clients when I was doing investment banking was you have to take the feeling out of the decision making.
Okay.
That's the hardest part. That's why like stock markets when they crash and stuff, it's not because something crazy happens. It's people see it and they react. Right? Sorry, they react. And when other people see another person react, and then news blasts it, everyone freaks out, and that's why like that bank that would crash recently.
Yeah, Simi Valley.
They already figured it out, trying to save it, and then one person freaked out, another person freaked out, news caught on it, and everyone went, and then it crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but if no one jumped on a mob mentality, they would have been okay. So.
Well, that's still what's happening. There's still a FOMO. It's
Yeah,
still emotional.
That's why it's hard. It's easy for me to say the advice, but yeah.
That's why I totally agree with like what you guys keep preaching of like if you can afford it, get it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that aspect, I get it.
Yeah, I think the people that can afford it right now are the ones that either are getting special programs or the ones who have saved enough for a big down payment.
Yeah.
Or the ones who are trading their homes for something else.
Mm-hmm.
So current homeowners are actually in the best position because they can sell their home for a lot right now and use that money to buy another home. And that's a lot of my buyers right now, actually.
But they got to move in a different state, not in the same state, depending.
Yeah.
Oh, in California at least,
Mm-hmm.
because they're pretty expensive out there still.
I saw this one crazy post. It was about the Great Depression, where like people were making like $4K a year. And in that time, like if you were to put it in an inflation calculator, it was equivalent to like $88,000, and that was during the Great Depression.
Yeah.
But now, like the median income is like 50 or something.
Like around 60, 70.
Yeah, and it's like, are we in a big Great Depression kind of thing, or is something gonna happen soon?
What is the Great Depression to you? Is it like
job losses, things like that.
a financial?
Yeah, it's like a big financial hit.
Yeah.
For everybody.
That is when people were jumping off bridges and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we have a different Great Depression where people are just committing suicide because, I don't know, the stress levels, which actually is because of financial situations.
Mm-hmm.
Either they're not doing as well as they thought, or they're losing money, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we're headed towards that. I don't know if we'll ever be in that again. Maybe
There's too many for financially. There's a lot of regulations, and every time there's a crash or anything, all right, they come up with more rules and trying to prevent that from happening. Like when all that housing lending back in the '08. That's why it's so much harder for people to get loans now. Like I still got people coming to me. I was able to get this loan so easy now. Well, that's why it's different now, because remember what happened when everyone was giving out loans like candy. So hopefully all those regulations help stop everyone a big crisis from happening again. But you never know.
That's what it is. Everyone always says, when is the crash going to happen? When is the recession going to happen? Great Depression. It's like we have so many things to step in and stop it from happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From the past. We're learning from the past, hopefully. But still,
Yeah.
So are you seeing right now with the interest rates, are you seeing like with the smaller homes, the monthly payments are basically the same as like a bigger home back in 2019?
Yeah, they're increasing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because the payment,
Yeah. So like the price of a condo you're paying for could have been like a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the condos near where I live, they were maybe a few years ago like 600,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're selling for $1 million
for a condo.
That's 1,800 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
And how many units are in that community?
I don't know, but
like over 100.
Probably over 100. But they're different. It's built weird, but they're a whole bunch.
No, that's crazy because like they have small communities where there's only like maybe 10 units.
No, there's more than that.
And there's some with 20, 30 units, and then you got the ones that are like 100 units. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy for me to think that a 100-unit community can sell each unit for $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Depends on the area.
Like when COVID happened, people were selling all those condos because they didn't want to be so close to everybody. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to catch COVID. They want to all buy their own homes, have their own privacy. So it's just weird that condos have cost that, come up to that much now.
With the interest rates, are rental properties still a thing? Like, are people still buying homes for rental properties if they can't?
Your all cash buyers are.
Yeah. All cash.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely jumping in on it.
Some that need
for the cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some are just doing it to take the hit now.
I see.
So then hopefully it'll turn positive later.
Or there's a lot of people doing seller financing, sub to stuff like that, where instead of putting a big down payment or buying a home all cash, which they can't afford, then they're using creative financing to pretty much pay the seller the monthly, pretty much getting a loan from the seller to buy a home.
Yeah, and then just transferring the deed or something.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways to buy a home right now. And I think if you guys are stuck in this situation where you don't know what to do, like William said, home prices are lower than 2021 and they're only going to keep going up. So get it now and then you can refi later.
Yeah. I just think you just sit down and talk.
Yeah.
To talk to someone, a professional like us, and just go over it. Like we'll talk to you and just figure it out.
So if you guys enjoyed this episode, leave a comment below. Always, you can email me at vegashomes@gmail.com. Send us all DMs on IG. And we'll catch you guys next time on the Next Win Podcast.